Hey guys, welcome to a webinar of OpenLM. Today we'll be going over how exactly you can increase your license utilization. Now there are a few ways to do it. We're going to focus on the two advanced ways to increase your utilization. One of them is just to get all the reports that you need. You'll customize any reports that you want to create. I'll show you this later. And I'll show you how to actually harvest your licenses, meaning that if someone is using it but you want to retract his license, you can do that remotely. So we'll be going over, as I said, it will be two extensions, the OpenLM Reporting Hub and the OpenLM Active Agents. Now, before I jump into the functionality of everything, before I show you how it works, how it operates, how to configure it and everything, I just want to do a quick recap of everything you probably already know about the OpenLM system, but just so everybody will be on the same page. So you probably have your license server, which has a few vendors on it, like MATLAB, Autodesk, CATIA. On it, you simply need to install the broker, connect it to the OpenLM core, which sits on any network server. On the workstations, you'll need the OpenLM Agent. And if you want to view the information, the usage information, you just use any device, using any browser, and just access the OpenLM core. Now, in order to harvest licenses, as we've said, the OpenLM agent must be installed on the workstations. Now, it can be installed just manually, just double click, next, 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 or it can be installed using silent rollout, meaning that you'll create a script and the script will roll out the agent to all the connected workstations. And they won't even know that they have it. It will just be installed silently in the background. And the next part will be the reporting hub that we will talk about. So the reporting hub pretty much is an ETL, a data engine, that runs on the OpenLM database itself. If you have a Firebird database, MS SQL, MySQL, doesn't matter. It runs on the primary database, and it deposits all the data into a reporting database. Now, on this reporting database, you can use any tool to connect to. You can use any BI tool to connect to it, any querying tool you can connect to it. It basically holds all the OpenLM information. It holds, sorry about that, it holds different aggregations of different measures that you want, and so on. Now, you're probably asking yourself, well, why can't I just connect the BI to the primary database? Well, the database of OpenLM doesn't hold anything that you're looking for. You will want concurrent usage, you won't find it there. You will want session duration, you won't find it there. Everything is calculated live on the spot by the interface of OpenLM. So this crunches up all the data, aggregates everything, puts it in a reporting database, which I will show you later on, and you'll see how easy it is to just create reports from it. So I don't want to waste a lot of time. I just want to show you the tool itself. I want to show you the extension, how you can actually harvest licenses. Now, we have many options to harvest licensing. But let's first discuss about the core product of OpenLM. So you probably already know the core product of OpenLM. Probably you know how to use it. I see a lot of clients. You have the system, you know how to use it. You know it helps you increase utilization, but there are advanced ways of increasing your utilization, like controlling sessions. You can control the sessions of the users remotely. Now, there are a few options that can be done here. Now, I'm just gonna open AutoCAD for now, and I'm gonna let it idle. Meaning that, well, let's say that now I'm an engineer. I came in the morning, I pulled AutoCAD, and that's it. Let's say that I'm not using it. I just minimized it, or I'm just not using it. It's just idling. So this idling, what it causes a false sense of needing more licenses. Because if I have a license and I'm not using it, someone else can use it. Someone else can benefit from that license. So if there was a system that will retract that license that I'm not using, then it will free up the license, and ultimately you can buy less licenses. You can purchase less licenses and you get an increased utilization as a result. Now, I've opened AutoCAD, and we see it right here. We see that I pulled a license. We have one license of AutoCAD. I pulled one. And I see all the information you're used to. You can see the workstation, the start time, who is using it. I can even see what I'm using. I can see which server, which group. I can even see the duration of my session. So like my session has been almost 2 minutes. The application has been idle for like 50 seconds now. But let's say that the application is idling for like 1 hour, 2 hours, meaning that the user is not there. He went home, he's on a meeting, he went to lunch, maybe he's just on Facebook or something, you don't know. So once you see it, you can just click Close App, and in about 2 minutes, it will close the application automatically. It will close it remotely. Now you're probably asking yourself, why would I want to close their work? They're working. Well, it saves their work. It saves it either to the same file. Now you see, I had AutoCAD right here. It was closed. I got a message popped up here saying that OpenLM Agent recently closed AutoCAD. Now if I click here, I simply open AutoCAD again. Now, I started saying that, let's say that, so I started working, but the save and closed worked on my PC, meaning that the AutoCAD application had his information, the process. It was saved, and then the application was closed using an extension within the application itself. So it either saves the work to the file I was working on, or it saves the work to a totally new file if I was just starting work, and saves it to the temp folder. Now, this option, what you've seen right here, is called the save and close, is a part of the active agent. And this works for Autodesk application, SolidWorks applications, MATLAB, and also ArcGIS. So they enable us to save the work and close the application. Now this is the most graceful way of doing it. There is also another option where you can suspend the application itself, meaning that it suspends the process and releases the license. You also have an option just to release the license. But one more option that I want to show you that's pretty new is the custom commands option. Now, if we close the application and save the work, that's great. If we suspend the application itself and release the license, and if the user wants to use it again, he simply clicks open. If there's a license available, it starts working. We've said that it can do all that, but only for FlexLM applications. Let's say Suspend works with NX, for example. A lot of users use NX suspension method. But let's say that you're using other applications which are not FlexLM based. Maybe you're using applications which do not have a license manager at all. Maybe you're using applications which have a license manager that you created. So for that, we also have a solution. Let's say that you want to close the application, but it's the application that you created yourself, your organization. It's an application which it's not under FlexLM. Maybe it's an RLM or something, under RLM control. So what you can do is run a custom command. Now, when I say custom command, I mean that you can simply create a CMD script, and you can run that script on the workstation. So I have a script ready right here. Click Agent Procedure, Custom Script. And I selected Agent Script, and let's see what's our script. So simply runs a message for the username, and it says, please close app. Please close app if not using it. Okay? So now I can set it, instead of closing the application, just to pop up a notification, a simple notification saying that, hey, please remember to put back the license when you're done with it. So I'll change this to procedure, get the custom script from here, save it. And now all we need to do is just pull AutoCAD again, pull an AutoCAD license. So you're probably thinking to yourself, well, I don't want to go over the currently consumed licenses each time and decide if it is idling or not idling. Maybe they're working out of my time zone. Maybe I'm out for a week. Then what? Maybe I just don't want to work with it so much. Close the application. Well, you can set automatic release. So if now I clicked close app and after 2 or 3 minutes it closed the application, then you can set a threshold for idle time for the system to say that, oh, he's been idling for like 1 hour. So you can tell the system, whoever's idling for 1 hour, kill the process, remove the license, run the script, save and close the work, whatever you choose. But you can act automatically, even when you're not there. The system recognizes, oh, the usage is above a certain usage, meaning that the license is about to be stressed out. Not a lot of licenses left. Then start releasing licenses. But whose licenses? Those who have the highest idle time. 1 hour, 2 hours idle time. You can define whatever you want. Now, this, as I said, greatly increases utilization, even though you'll need less licenses. I had some clients when I had a session with them, and it was just we tried to get an AutoCAD license, and it was terrible. We weren't able to get a license, like the whole session. But after about a week, we implemented the save and close option. Not only did it save the work and close the application, it even changed the user behavior. The users started noticing that they're being watched. The admin knows their idle time, so they changed their behavior. So we didn't see all that much idle time, but we did see that now we can get an AutoCAD license like that, like in a second. And he didn't buy more licenses. He even thought of reducing the amount of licenses. Now, let's check out what I was talking about, the custom commands. So we pulled an AutoCAD license right here. And we're supposed to see it in a moment. We'll see it right here. There we go. So if you have some kind of script, if you have a custom application and you do have a save and close option, you can run the CMD script and no problem. So again, here you see like 12 seconds idling. After about a minute, it starts registering as idle. And let's click close app. Let's see. It will take a while, about a minute or two, but we will get a notification, if you remember, saying that please remember to put back the license if you're not using it. So as I said, this can be automatic. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, well, yeah, it's automatic, but what if I have something running in the background at night? If I have some processing that I'm doing at night, I don't want it to close my application. I'm processing. I'm not on the workstation, but I am processing. So how does the agent know that the system is idle? Well, it knows that it's idle because the CPU and memory usage do not go over a certain threshold. By the way, you're seeing here the message popping up. Please close app if not using it. This came from the OpenLM agent itself. As I said, it can be manual or automatic. But how does the agent know that it's idle? It checks the CPU and memory allocated to this application. And if it sees that the application is like drawing 0.1%, well, then it's idle. But if it goes over a certain threshold, then you know it's working. Somebody's working on it. It's taking memory. It's taking CPU usage. It's not idling. So this is how the system will know. Even though you have something running at night, the system will know, oh, the AutoCAD is being stressed. There's something processing there, so it's not idle. Don't release the license. So we got pretty much everything covered in that way. So if you would like to have an evaluation of the active agent, the actual usage, meaning that you want to close licenses using the idle time, then you can just get that from sales for evaluation. You can get 1 month of evaluation of the tool. You can set it up and see if it works. Now, don't be scared. The installation of it is very simple. If you use a silent installation or GPO rollout, it's even simpler. You just run a script and that's it. It's rolled out to all the machines that you list. Oh, and now we get it from the idle time. So about 3 minutes have passed. That's my idle time threshold that I set, and it popped this up again. Anyway, if you want to have it, you can get it for evaluation. See if it actually helps you, if it reduces, if you can reduce licenses as a result, or maybe just you have a lot of availability, higher availability for your licenses. So test it out. You can. It's free for a month. Then you got to decide. So this is one way to increase your utilization, and this is a pretty straightforward way to increase your utilization. You see, users, well, they won't be using it wrongly. They will just be using it when they actually are using it. So the statistics that you'll get will be correct. You won't have like inflated utilization because of idling sessions. You won't have idling sessions. But there is also another way for you to understand your utilization, to understand everything about your license situation and statistics. Now, OpenLM, as you probably know, it has many reports. It has many reports. Most of them I show in the core webinar. And these are great reports. They show you what's going on, the denials, utilization, licenses that are not actually being used, which users are using. You can aggregate your usage, but that's great. But you will probably want more. You want to get better insight. You want to get better trends. So you can using the OpenLM Reporting Hub. Now, just to remind you, basically, it's a reporting database that you can connect using any BI tool. Now, let's not waste a lot of words and let's just jump to a BI tool. This is Power BI. This is a Microsoft tool. It's not our tool, but it works on the Reporting Hub database. So the tables that you see on the right here are actually the tables of the database itself. Now you can see that it's all crunched up. It's all already aggregated and fits the industry standard of dimensions and measures. Now you got all the dimensions that you'll need, like user, group, license, calendar. What does that mean? Let's open up a user dimension, for example. So you got everything about the user. Username, title, phone, last name, first name, department, pretty much everything about the user. The license as well, pretty much everything about the license server, feature, product name, version, everything. You got from the measures, you got everything that you might need. You got the session duration, you got idle duration, you got denials, you got license quantity, concurrent usage, and you have it aggregated in many different ways. You can have it as maximum daily, you can have it as daily aggregated, you can just have the raw data. Now I'm not going to go over each one. I really don't want to bore you with the details. I just want to show you the benefits of it, what you can get out of it. So let's say we want to create a report. Let me show you how easy it is and how fast it is to create a report. So let's say that we want a table and we want the session duration for all users. So we simply open user dimension, just drag it in there, and we'll go to session duration, get the session duration, drag it in there, and that's it. The report is ready. What would I want here? I want maybe his first name, maybe his last name, maybe I want his email. Now you see it's just drag and drop and it's so simple. Now this database is encrypted, so you see first name, last name, email, username. It's not real usernames because this is a client database and we had to encrypt it. But anyway, it's so simple. You just drag and drop and it's super easy. Now let's say that you want to have it like as a bar chart and you want it by the username, for example. So you can just go get the user, drag it in there, and that's it. You've got the report by the username. Now let's say that you want to see the groups. So I can also drag the groups inside and I can drill down into the group. So I only have one group here and I can drill down into it and see the users in that group. Let's say that I want a license. I want to see which users used which license. So I can just open license dimension, drag it in there, and that's it. Now I want to see this user and I want to see what he's been using. So I just click on him and I can drill down and see everything that he's been using. So let's remove the group just so you'll see it better. So I drill down and it shows me all the different features you can see on the bottom here. So these are all the different features and the amount of time he spent on each feature. Now you can have it the other way around. Maybe you want to know who has been using a single feature, a certain feature. So you can just switch between them. Now we can see the feature, drill down into MD2, for example, and we see all the users using MD2 and how long they've been actually using it. Now, you see how super simple it is, how easy it is to create a new report easy. Now, let's say that you want to know the session duration, but you want to have it calculated. You want to multiply it by the number of licenses, for example. So you can create a new measure, and you can calculate a new measure from the existing measures, like you do in Excel, for example. So the new measure, we can just say we want the session duration. Let's say we want session, sum session duration. Now you can see it's pretty much like Excel with all the functions, sum, max, min. You pretty much when you start using it, it's pretty self-explanatory. You can even search online for everything. So let's say that we want the session duration and we want to calculate it, we want to multiply it by the number of licenses. And that's it. We got a new measure. So let's say that we want to drag it inside here and remove session duration. So we see it right here. We multiplied it. Now, this is just about it. This is just about what I want to show you. I really don't want to overload you with all the information that OpenLM has to offer, because it's a lot. It's a lot of extensions. It's a lot of information. What I really want to do now is to hear from you guys. If you have any questions, please go ahead. Just ask using the chat box in the GoToWebinar tool. There's a questions box. You can just raise your hand, ask a question. I'll be waiting to answer all your questions, whatever you want to know about the agent that you've just seen, about the app, about the reporting hub, whatever it is that you want to know. Go ahead, ask. The floor is yours. So go ahead, guys. Richard is asking, is there a Python API for the reporting hub? Now, there's no Python API that we built, but if you have any connector or anything that connects to Postgres database, then no problem. You can connect to it using some kind of API. It's eventually a database. It's just a database which has this structure, which has the measure and dimension structure. So you can access it pretty much using anything. Now, this destination database, it can be Postgres, it can be MySQL, it can be SQL Server. So if you can connect to a database, then use any tool that you want, no problem. I hope that answered your question, or maybe I missed it completely. Yes, Mark is asking, indeed, the reporting hub, what it does, it has a data engine that runs each night, and it gathers the delta that is missing in the database from the last day. So each day it runs and gets the delta, and this way you'll have a continuous database of information, of all your usage information. John is asking about sharing capabilities. Now, it depends on the BI tool that you use. You can use Power BI Desktop, which is free, and then you can just send people the file itself, like you send an Excel file. You just send the file. But if you use the cloud version of it, then you can share it as a link, share it in SharePoint. There are a lot of options. If you're using like Tableau or Click or anything else, they have their own options of sharing. Okay, guys. So if no one has any more questions, thank you guys. Thank you all very much. I hope you learned a little bit about OpenLM and a bit about the two extensions that really help you to increase your utilization and pretty much get a better understanding of what's going on in your system. So thank you very much, guys. Have a great day. Thanks.